Welcome to this week's episode of Undisputed MMA. As the month of March will be dedicated to BJJ, and we'll be featuring our featured coach for the month, Wiekus Swart. Wiekus, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So just for those that don't know, just give us a bit of background on your journey through the sport, how it started and how you got to where you are today.
So I've pretty much been in martial arts my whole life. I started in karate as all kids do at the age of, I think it was 8 to 12, I think I did karate. In high school I didn't do any martial arts. I was into swimming and rugby, but I knew that I was going to start something when I left. So when I left school at 18, I started Kung Fu. I did Northern Long Fist and Southern Short Fist for about 7 years. But the whole time I was looking for other things. I knew that something wasn't right. I did Wing Chun for a couple of years. I did Kempo Karate. I was trying all different things, trying to find that elusive something. I didn't know what it was. And at that stage already I knew I was going to open a gym. I already spoken to the Kung Fu, because I thought it was going to be Kung Fu. I'd spoken to my Sifu and said, what do I need to do to open a gym? And he gave me some kind of, timeline or whatever. While I was training, one day I heard someone mention Jeet Kune Do and someone teaching Jeet Kune Do in South Africa. So I immediately jumped on it and I said, who is this? Where is it? And they told me it was a guy called Burton Richardson. When I phoned the number, it was actually Rodney King that answered and said, no, he's a teacher. Burton is his instructor from the States. So I went there for a lesson, and I remember vividly, he said to me, put these gloves on. They look very much like the MMA gloves we wear today. And he said, do you spar in Kung Fu? And I'm like, of course we do. I'm like, doing it for 7 years. Of course we spar. So he says, can we spar? He said, you're right with that. I'm like, yeah, of course we can. And he said, we're going to call today a reality check. And I remember, I think he used basic boxing on me, but I didn't see a thing. I just spent the whole round in the corner cowering and covering up. And I outweighed him by a good 30 kilos probably, which was like surprising, So I was like, wow, there's something going on here. And I decided I'm going to continue with the privates and see what happens from there. It must have been about 3 weeks after that he said to me, have you heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And I was like, no, I never heard of it. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to teach you a technique. And the very first thing he taught me was a triangle choke. I still remember to this day. And I was like, something just went like this to me. And I was like, this is it. And I was like, dude, I don't care about the Jeet Kune Do or whatever you're teaching. This is what I want to do. And unfortunately, he was only still a 4-stripe white himself. So it was very limited to what he could teach me. It was kind of like, teach me, him learn a bit, teach me, him learn a bit. So it was a bit of a long journey, but that was pretty much where we went. Eventually, the Jeet Kune Do became Muay Thai, because obviously as MMA got bigger, Muay Thai became a bigger kind of part of MMA. So we started to do our stand-up was a mix of boxing and Muay Thai, but the Jiu-Jitsu became my love. And then he switched over to Matt Thornton, became our head coach, and I'm a purple belt under Matt Thornton from SPG. And then when I left Rodney, that all kind of fell away, and I ended up with Roberto Talla from Rio Grappling, and I got my black belt under him.
Okay. And you are obviously one of the highest ranked black belts in the country at the moment.
Only Rodney's higher than me. My original coach, he's 1 stripe higher, so he's a 3rd degree black belt, and I'm a 2nd degree. Bobby Karajanidis from B&J MMA, we got our belts together. We got our purple belt together with Matt. We got our brown together with Roberta, and our blacks together with Roberta. So we kind of share a bit of a bond where we've gone through it all together. So we're both the highest, apart from Rodney.
And then also you said you have competed as well. Just give us a bit of background on that.
Yeah, so before the competitions were a big thing in SA, Rodney had that kind of Gracie challenge thing going where we had to fight challenge guys. And we had an open challenge at our gym. And we had a lot of guys. I fought pro boxers, judo, black belts, you name it. And I, for some reason, became the fight guy. So Rodney never fought any challenge matches, but I fought over a dozen. I'm thinking maybe close to 20. I fought a lot of challenge matches, and I used jiu-jitsu in all of them. Obviously, I used my stand-up to set up the takedowns or whatever, but jiu-jitsu was the way I went, and it saved me every single time. Then when the competition scene kind of got going, I was already kind of in my mid-30s, but I competed in the African National Champs in jiu-jitsu. That was in 2008. And I won that, I beat Rico Hutting from Cape Town. And then the next year, I fought in the Abu Dhabi trials, black belt division, and I beat Rico Hutting again in the finals. And that took me to the world champs in Abu Dhabi. Where unfortunately, I got eliminated in the first round by the Brazilian national champ by 2 points. Okay. Yeah.
And then you also do a lot of reffing. You're involved in MMA quite a bit. Just give the guys a bit of background on that.
Absolutely. So when the MMA started growing in South Africa, we had Graham Cartmel came to our gym to look for fighters. And at that stage, we only had one real fighter that was ready, and that's Liam Cleland, who actually eventually went on and won the middleweight title. So he asked me for fighters, and I said, okay, we've got Liam. Liam's ready. The other guys, not ready for that kind of thing yet. And then he said to me, one of my refs has let me down, and I've had to fire the guy, or I don't know if the guy left on his own or what the story was, but he was lacking a ref. So I joked and said, man, don't worry, I'll ref you for you. And we left it at that. The next day he phoned me and he's like, please can you come see me at the office? And I thought it was about Liam. So when I got there, I was greeting him and he's introducing me to everyone, and he starts introducing me as the referee. It's like, hey guys, this is our new referee. And I'm thinking, referee, what the? So I'm like, oh shit, but this is real. Now I've got to go and study, because I've never ref before. So literally, and it was like a week away. So literally I had to go and study everything on YouTube and whatever about international rules and stuff. So that's how I got into refereeing. Literally, like, off you go, you're in the cage ref. And obviously I had to learn, like, in the moment, made mistakes and learned from there. But I've refed over 200 matches now.
And then if guys want to get hold of you, come down and have a roll and do some classes with you, where can they get hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Tap Out Academy is the gym. We're on Facebook, and we've got our own webpage. And obviously we have open mat, and I teach privates, and we've got night classes, and we've got fighters training as well with us that fight in all different organizations. So yeah, I can teach the fighter, or I can teach a guy that just wants to learn jiu-jitsu as a hobby.
Well, there you have it, guys. From the man who's the second highest graded black belt in South Africa. Get down to Tap Out in Randburg, get some sessions in, and get in with Wiekus Swart. Thank you, Wiekus.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.